hopefully it really means that.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays that way.
Mm-hmm. It says we're going live. It says we're going live. It says we're here.
I'm not seeing anything yet.
That's called a delay. I don't actually know if I'm here until my existence is validated by others because I have an extreme need for validation. I'm not sure what that says about me, but it's fine. I've learned to live with it. Lola agrees.
Lola's had a lot to say today.
She has. She's, I think she's in the background of the podcast intro for this episode. That'll be out Friday podcast apps. Yes, ma'am. And I think she might be in the background of the Monday video. And she is definitely in the background of this one.
Ma'am.
We're going to move forward as if we're actually here. Hello.
Hello.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream while we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 9 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and don't like idle chit chat, you got a few minutes. Make you a sandwich, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. If you are here after the stream, but before I put in timestamps and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by, let's be real, about 10 minutes. There we go. Also, I know I look tired. One, I am tired. Let's just be real. Two, I just didn't have it in me to wear makeup today. So this is a bare face.
We're both a little bleary around the edges today.
We are. It's caught up with us. It's all been good. But
this
has all got up with us. The choice was between not having it in me to make myself put makeup on and so then do nothing and be frozen in that loop, or no makeup in here, we can do the thing. So, oh good, we're getting a message that our bit rate blah blah is yada yada. I don't know. Yeah. So if we start stutter stopping blah blah, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna say hello to folks.
Say hello
as
to
they're
folks.
Coming in.
Yeah.
Lola is also going to say hello to folks.
You say hello.
Hi, Kitty. Hi, Dorina. Hi, Alex. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Bad Cat. I hope our internet will stay in line. JB has to stand at the door because we don't really trust Lola to really be going out. We're pretty sure she's going to come right back in.
She's been like a kid all day. She comes in, she wants to go out. She goes out, she wants to come in.
For anybody who did not see when I could finally post on YouTube again on Sunday, and you were like, where the heck were ya? Well, we got grounded by YouTube. YouTube put me in the corner. And nobody should, except for JB, should put baby girl in the corner. Okay. I don't want you to put me in the corner, but you're the only one who's allowed to put me in the corner. Unless we're doing some like kinky stuff, and then that should be part of the scene negotiation, and that might be hot, but that's a different thing. And that's not what I did with YouTube. So yeah, we were gone last week. We're sorry. In a way, it was our fault because we did do a thing that I know better. But I only like have become really like aware of it in the past year or so. Put a link to something that we should never link to that. I shouldn't trust YouTube to be okay with that link. But they dinged us for a link that was in a video from like 2 or 3 years ago. And then I accidentally had a version of that link in every video we've ever done. And they didn't care about those, but they did care about that one video. So... It's fine. Hi, Lisa. Hi, HM. Hi, JB. Hi, Rara. Yeah. So, we're here. Hi, Taishu. Oh, I'm only saying this for the YouTube part, and I might say it again, but I'm saying it now so while I'm thinking about it because I might forget. Today and tomorrow are the last days for all of the sales we have, our Etsy shops, and more specifically the Kinkery, thekinkery.com. Use code SPANKS23, save 20% off. That ends the day after this live stream on Thursday, November 30th. I'm not going to put it in the general announcements because the podcast listeners are not going to give a shit because by the time they can hear it, the sale will be over. And our Etsy shop, Loving BDSM Etsy shop, is also still on sale through November 30th. The links are in the description box if that is of any interest to you. It's okay if it's not. We're just happy you're here with us. But if you're looking for kinky things for yourself or others as gifts, then sale. We are, as you can probably tell if you've been around for a hot minute, or a cold one, as the case may be. Oh, good, our screen went black and then blipped again. We are dressed for Florida cold weather. We know that's not the same as cold that you might feel in places where it actually gets cold, but for us, it's cold.
Our 1 day of Florida winter.
We haven't gotten that low yet.
Yeah.
That happens in like January or February. But we did get like at my aunt and uncle's house. They
had frost.
Right. They live in a different whole section of the area than we do. We had to turn the heater on for like a whole 10 minutes to get to chill out. I'm wearing fuzzy socks. You are wearing fuzzy pants and slippers. Yep. So.
And,
oh, that feels so good. See, my perimenopausal self was like, give me this fucking cold. That feels so fucking good. Oh my God. I think cold hands are now my kink.
New kink unlocked.
Yep. So, and it's chilly when we open the door for Lola. I love it. I'm very happy. But I also have everything I need to stay warm. So I get very baby girl, sad, cranky, and pouty when my toes get cold and I can't warm them up. There's lots of whining. I don't like it. But, so yeah, we're going to complain about air quote cold. And we know, for those of y'all who don't live in Florida or just the South in general, that's not real cold. We know, but it's
I'm still drinking iced coffee.
Hell yeah. It'd be 10 below out there. I'm still going to drink iced coffee. So, yeah. No, I like this weather. I like it more that it's sunny outside, so then it's not a damp cold.
True. The other day it was overcast and it was damp.
Everything just felt damp. Like you just couldn't get dry. It was not pleasant. So yeah, if you stand outside in the sun long enough, you'll get warm and you'll be like, oh, maybe I don't need my jacket. I mean, you will be wrong, but you know. Well, maybe those of you who are from up north, you'd be like, oh, this is balmy. Let me get my shorts on. And I do still wear sometimes shorts in the cold, as long as the other parts of me can get warm. The 14-year-old, thank God it's Florida cold and not like actual winter cold. We cannot find pants that fit him for the winter. The ones that fit his waist are way too short. He's wearing high waters. The ones that are the right length for him are so too big in the waist. Cinching them up with drawstrings does nothing. He's got not a lick of fat on him. He is very slender and very, very tall. Do they make 28-34 men's pants? Asking for a friend. Probably. They're probably the expensive ones. I probably just need to go online and see if I can find those.
Alex, you are absolutely right. Cold is good for snuggles.
And until I get a hot flash, then I love you so much, but get the fuck away from me. Go away. Hi, Mally. Hi, Shelby. So, yeah. No. I mean, it's been nice to actually sleep at night because up until last night when you turn the heater on just to take the edge off the cold, we haven't needed the heater, but it's been chilly. And so we've had the windows open to get rid of some of the dog and cat smell, quite frankly. But it was like cold, that kind of good cold that I can sleep real well in. Like I can get like covers like... Up until last night, it was cool. Last night, it was cold, and I could, like, actually snuggle with the blankets and, like, put it around my head, and all you see is my little face, and I don't mind the blankets touching me because they're keeping me warm and snuggly, and I just... It was not a perfect night of sleep for me. I still have, like, my hand stuff and my neck stuff and blah, 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 but it was a better night. It was not enough sleep, so... Yeah. Anyway... Enough about the weather. And also, thank you, Alex. I will go see if I can find the child some pants. He's also picky about pants, so I can't... He doesn't wear jeans. He doesn't wear anything too structured. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. Oh, and somebody said they got the loading Circle of Death. I hope that that clears up, because we seem to still be moving on the screen. Okay, we are going to pretend to get started. As always, if you enjoy this, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And then just go ahead and ring that notification bell for updates and new content.
Just do what Daddy says. That's just safest and best that way. If you like what we do here, you want to help us keep doing it, you want access to a Discord server and extra content, like an extra live stream that's coming up this Saturday, you can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/killlords. Link down below, all the good stuff. And you can click the magic button.
Okay.
Okay.
Clicked.
I feel very out of practice. It was just one unplanned week off, and I feel very out of practice. How does this work? I don't know, but we're going to pretend we have a clue anyway. So this week's episode was inspired by another Therapy Jeff post. Actually, I found two, and I sent them both to JB and went, ooh, let's answer these questions. We went with this one. The other ones are spicy, but I just wasn't feeling in a spicy mood today. So as you can tell from the titles, we are going to find out how well we know one another according to relationship questions that Therapy Jeff on Instagram, who is likely also on TikTok, poses. So if you are interested in Therapy Jeff, these questions, any of that, I have linked to it in the places, so you can go watch it's the Instagram reel, because I'm not on TikTok. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask JB the question. And what the question is it's how well he knows me and what he thinks I would do in terms of the question. And then after he answers, I'll give the answer of what I think he would do. And we'll compare notes and see if we know each other well enough and we're getting it right. And it's sort of a intimacy, vulnerability, how we behave kind of stuff. So let's see. Okay. First question. I'm afraid, because I don't even think I know the answer to this. What is the first sign that I am annoyed with you?
Ooh.
I tried to think of if I knew the answer. Wasn't sure.
Well, here is what I have noticed. My perspective. Two things.
Okay.
First, I'll get the eye roll.
But I just walk around rolling my eyes. Is it a
This
certain eye roll?
This is a different eye roll. This is like a...
Oh, with the breath?
and it's accompanied with a sigh.
I can't deny that. If I'm rolling my eyes and sighing deeply and heavily,
Yeah.
more often than not, I'm annoyed.
Right.
But I might not be annoyed with you. I might be annoyed with the situation.
That's true, but when it comes down to me too, I get I'm like a situation too sometimes.
Oh yeah, you definitely are. You absolutely are. Was that the two together? Okay.
That was the two together.
Okay, so
now for me,
first sign that you're annoyed with me.
Yeah.
My first sign that it's genuine annoyance tends to be either the tone of your voice, because it gets sharp, and I usually interpret it as I'm being yelled at, and I don't handle that well. Thank you, childhood trauma. Or you get real short with your answers. Like you don't give me full sentences. You won't even sometimes look at me. If you're really annoyed, you'll answer me, but you're either real sharp with your tone or real short with your responses. And what kills me is I think, what's going on? Is everything okay? Are you okay? He's like, I'm fine, which is the universal sign that he is not fine. But yeah. And then, there are times I'm oblivious to that. We get all the way to the point of when I say, if you know the term, when I say barking, I do not mean literally like a dog, but like your answers are loud, sharp, and short all at the same time. that's when I've been oblivious to the annoyance, and then we're at like the next step, the next level of annoyance. So yeah, we clearly have obvious tells.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
All right.
And when we say in the mood here, it can be sexually or for kink. Okay. What's the most effective move or phrase to get me in the mood?
Ooh. Since your libido tanked, it's been so long, I don't remember.
Well, how do we navigate it now? That's our reality now.
Thus far, I would have to say the best way to get you in the mood at this point, sexually, is to have you read a reverse harem book.
Oh, the reverse harem does it for me every time. Woo! Yeah, leave me the fuck alone. Let me read. Let it be. Doesn't have to be well written, like written well enough that I like am engaged with it. And the story's got to be good. The sex has got to be hot.
Right.
I like reverse harems that more when everybody interacts. Like it's not just all these men on this one woman. It's like, oh, I'll interact with you, and then we're crossing over that. But yes, you're right.
Okay.
Reverse harem does it.
All right.
What about getting me in the mood for kink?
And kink wise, now sometimes all that takes is walking by you and giving you a swat on the ass, and you'll be like, "Don't threaten me with a good time."
I try to keep the signals real clear for you, so you don't have to worry.
Exactly, exactly. You know, so that that kind of does it. Or if I just leave a specific toy out.
Oh yeah, I'm either like terrified or I'm really intrigued.
Right.
But either way, I'll bend over.
Right.
Fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I think the most effective move or phrase to get you in the mood. First of all, I don't really. If I come straight out and go, I'd like to fuck. That's it. We're done. You're good. You're like, all right, because you know I'm not gonna just say that at a time as like random or not gonna.
Right.
I have found that whether we're for sexually, if I just like start touching you or getting close to you or rubbing up on you, and I don't have to touch a body part, like a specific body part. I mean, there's no genital contact. I can rub the top of your head. I can lean into your arm. I can start stroking your beard. Now, because I know you really like touch.
Right.
When I just do it as a one-off and keep walking, that is not what it's when I give you my focused attention.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the extent, because I'm signaling, and then he better take control because I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
And you're right, because touch is very important to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, for kink, I actually am really direct with you on that.
You are.
I'll be like, I could really go for a spanking. Or, you know what I've been thinking about is, having the Hitachi strapped to me and me being helpless. And I just say it. Like, when it's kink, I just say it. And that seems to work for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've always kind of been a little direct on that. I mean, we even had back in the early days, we even made a signal for when you wanted to be spanked.
But that was like a maintenance or a therapeutic spanking.
True.
That wasn't like, let's get kinky. Like,
True.
Yeah. But we did have a signal. You're right. Okay. Next question. When I'm stressed, what do I find most helpful? Venting, problem solving, distraction, giving space, or hooking up? Well, we know which one it's not.
So, for you, out of that list, I would pick two things. I would have to go definitely with venting.
Oh, yeah. Please let me release some
steam. You need to
pressure pot.
Yep. Exactly, like a pressure pot. You need to let off some of that pent up frustration and get it out of the system. And there's also a bit of giving you space as well.
Yeah, because until I'm ready, like until I'm calm enough or focused enough or like in the right mindset, like I don't want to talk because I'm going to stay stressed. Because what happens is when I get stressed, I get annoyed. And then we're back to eye rolling and sighing.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Which just proves it's not always you who are the annoyance. It's the situation. So
yeah, those are definitely the two things I would go with for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. I have I'll say I've always appreciated about you, and I don't always give it to you, but I appreciate that you just let me vent and you don't immediately go into problem solving. I think in the very beginning, we both definitely did, and we talked it through and went, this is not helpful. And so we just stopped.
Right.
I do still want to go, like, I want to fix your problems immediately as as the person who loves you, but also that's my service self. So that's what I do. That's not what you want. So
I think what helped change my mind on that a little bit, because I've always been a bit of a fixer myself. Saw the video. It's not about the nail.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Vaguely. You might have to explain it, because I can't explain all the.
Woman has a nail in her forehead, and she's just like griping on about the headache and all this, from what I kind of remember of it.
Yeah.
And
there's all these things going wrong because there's a nail in her forehead, as you would imagine if there was a nail in your forehead.
Right. And her partner is, trying to explain, just
take the nail out of your forehead.
Yeah. And what it came down to in the end is it's not about the nail. It's about just being able to...
Let me just share my frustration with you. Yeah. Just listen to me.
Right.
So when you're stressed, what do you find most helpful? Venting, problem solving, distraction, giving space, or hooking up. So I think you do vent at times. Like when it gets really bad, you'll explode. But I've noticed that the first thing you will sometimes, or one of the things you'll do, is you'll distract yourself, and you want to be alone until you've thought it through.
Right.
Third in that list is then venting. Once you've you're probably playing solitaire on the computer, or reading porn, or watching porn, or playing a game on your phone. You're doing one of those things, your go-to distractions. You're going to do that first. While you're being distracted, you don't want me to distract you. You want to distract yourself.
Yeah.
While that's happening, you would prefer space. You don't want me to come talk. You don't want me to come ask what's wrong. You also don't want me to inundate you with too many other things, unless work is a distraction. But then, because you're stressed, you're easily annoyed, and then we get your signs of annoyance, because you're not really annoyed with me, you're annoyed at the situation, but your distraction is work, and I'm talking about work, and you really don't want to hear what I have to say. You're trying to distract yourself with work. Yes, I have figured this man out. Is there any question? So we're going to go with distract, then give you space, and then when you're ready, after your space, then you want to vent. And I have to remind myself that just because he's done all the work to distract and get space and he's ready to vent, he is not ready for me to fix it at all, because then we're back to annoyance and we're getting short, sharp answers. It's a cycle. But yeah.
It is a cycle.
When the only time we really have a lot of conflict about when you're stressed, when I try to fix, well, he's venting, and I'm learning and I'm doing better on that. But if we choose to use work as your distraction, which I use when I'm stressed as well, we don't have productive conversations. We can't plan anything. I literally just have to let you go do the thing and save business conversations for when you're not actively stressed.
Yeah, because I do tend to go quiet, and there have been times where I have gotten so quiet to the point you've had to drag it out of me.
Yes. Yeah, that's when we're at the end of it, because your behavior has changed, kind of treating me a little bit shitty. You're walking around acting a little shitty, not like bad, like negative, like nothing like that could end a relationship, but you're just like, there's a storm cloud over your head and you lash out.
True.
The Cancer symbol is a fucking crab for a fucking, right, like you lash out. And so, yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right.
What feels more loving to me? Cuddles on the couch, being told why you love me, or having dinner made and the house cleaned? So we've got touch, we've got words of affirmation, or we've got acts of service.
I would have to say with you, it's oddly enough, it's going to come down to acts of service, doing things.
Take my load off. Give me one less thing to worry about. Yeah.
I mean, cuddles for you are nice, but you're not really a touch me person. Okay.
Not.
Same. Makes me wonder how I ended up in this, you know.
You should be glad I'm a service sub. That's how you get touched.
That's true. And you've had the conversation with me numerous times how it's not words of love that
I don't
mean anything to you. It's the actions behind the
and
words.
you know there's two parts to that. My dad never said it. He did not say it. He just was not wired that way, and I know that's not healthy, but there we are. But he would actually tell me, would justify, I don't say it a lot, but everything I do for your mother is meant to show her that I love her. And quite frankly, if as an adult, if he was still alive, I'd have been like, she kind of needed to hear it sometimes, right? Because that fucks you up, right? So he taught me about how you show somebody you love them. But I was so starved to hear it. As you can tell from Lola, she too is starved for love. Yeah. I was so starved to hear it that the first person who told me consistently he loved me, I married him, but he never followed through on it. So I became very quickly, I want to hear it every so often. It makes me feel warm fuzzy, but I'd much rather you like back that shit up with here, I see you, I acknowledge you. What do you need help with? What can I do to do my part? Like, I'm even unlearning that whole doing stuff around the house. Mm-hmm. That's not helping me. That's taking care of the house, right? But I'll still say that's helping me. It's not helping me. That's helping everybody. Mm-hmm. But when you acknowledge to yourself in some way that you see what I'm going through and then try to take the load off for me. Yeah. And try to do something that I would normally do, so I have one less. Like that to me, yes, that's love. Like that's fucking love.
Well, I mean, even like last night, you were out with your mom. I was going out to the munch, mm-hmm. and you were already gone. I was here by my lonesome, mm-hmm. and I made sure the fur babies were all fed and taken care of, and then I did the dishes, whatever dishes there were. I was thinking to myself, I certainly don't want to come home after a munch and worry about dishes. And you're out with your mom just, enjoying your time. Why should you have to come home and do dishes? So I took care of all that. I
know. And then because I am a stubborn bitch who takes service very seriously, I was like, but I was going to do dishes. Because I'm thinking the same thing. I don't want you to have to come home to them, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay. So in reverse.
Okay.
What do I think feels more loving to you? Cuddles on the couch, being told why you love them, or having dinner made and the house clean? Because your thing is touch, anytime I cuddle with you, you practically melt.
Yeah.
And now, and it's hard for me to cuddle. One, it doesn't feel like natural to me. Like it can feel awkward sometimes. Two, I get fucking hot and then I'm like, oh God, don't touch me. I love you so much. Stop touching me. So I do like a light version of, it's not cuddles, it's just touch. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm walking past you, I'll like rub the top of your head, yes. Or I'll stroke your cheek, or I'll put my hand, because I know you like touch. Mm-hmm. Like that's sort of we say that we love one another. That's not a difficult thing for us at all. But right. I kind of have learned over time that it's going to be more meaningful to you if I make contact with you.
Correct.
And so that's my silent way of like going, that's right, I love you. See, you're my person.
I need to find out if anybody holds a cuddle puddle anywhere here locally.
Yeah, that's all you. That's so all right. You have a good ass time. See? I'd be like, why are people touching me? I don't know these people well enough. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. Something doesn't feel right. I'm itchy. No. You can cuddle me. I hug some people like enthusiastically, and others it takes me a very long time. Like once I'm at a level that I hug somebody, I fucking hug them. But I don't do long hugs. I had to learn. Now this is a little off topic, but it goes with my weirdness about touch. Mm-hmm. I read a thing when the kids were little that wasn't really about parenting. It was just about relationships with people. But I think they were in the aspect of parenting. They said when somebody hugs you, especially a kid, but anybody, when somebody mm-hmm. hugs you, they initiate it. Hug them until they let go and let them decide, because they initiated, because they needed the hug or they wanted the hug.
Okay.
So that one hit me. I think maybe because I have to teach myself this stuff. And so with the kids, I started with them. If they were willing to come up for a hug, we just hug until, and I can actually tell they'll like melt into me like this is comforting, soothing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't chase them around for hugs because don't necessarily want that. And so I had done that for so many years with the kids that I can easily do it with you. But it's a love thing with other people that, yeah, I'm willing to hug. I'm ready to be done fairly quickly. Even if I'm enthusiastically hugging, I'm like, okay, we're good. But from I'm initiating intimacy and love, and I want the other person to know how loved they are, and they're close to me like that, their family, then yeah, I do it that way. Okay, here's our question I kinked up. It was about sex, but we're gonna do it about kink. Okay. Right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate the first time we got kinky? And we'll say physically kinky together when we were in person, not what we did over the phone.
Right. I would have to say probably a 9.
I mean, it's one of my favorite memories, so I would probably be closer to 10. Okay. But when I'm enthusiastic, I give everybody 10s. I'm gold stars for everybody, right? Like, I can rate a poorly written book a 5 because it moved me, made me cry, and I can't stop thinking about it. Yeah. So, because, like, we had a blip where I had to safe word, which is why, in reverse, I would say you'd probably rate it like a 7 or 8 because I think it threw you off that I had to safe word. But you handled that so well that it's in the memory banks of that moment, it's not a negative. It's a thing that happened, and then it got handled so well, and we moved on from it. True. That I don't carry negative memories of that. Okay. Which is why, for me, I'm like, no, that was a 10. Like, I fucking greeted you at the door on my knees.
You did.
I did also tell a near stranger, because that's who he was at the time, to just walk in my front door. I do not recommend that for anybody else, but it worked out for us because that's how I wanted to greet you.
I know.
And then we got so enthusiastic, you came out the gate like hitting hard,
stomping at the bit,
right? And so then I had to safe word, which is, I mean, I can do it with ease now, but it's still never a comfortable feeling because you want, from my perspective, I want to be able to take it. I don't want to stop you. You're into it. But, I've got enough experience now to know that, no, this is...
And that was prior to us using the stoplight system when I do check-ins, to give me a color.
Right. It was just red. If I needed it to stop, it was red. And I think by the time my brain and my mouth were working together, I was screaming, red, red, red. And it even took you a second to hear it and for it to penetrate your brain.
And
exactly. But so if I would say because of that, I would think that you would rate it lower, not because you didn't have a good time, but because I know that kind of fucks you up when you go too hard or something goes wrong on your end. Like, you are so forgiving of me if something goes wrong on my end, and there's nothing that can really go wrong. But like, if it's my muscle cramp or my body or whatever, that might make me feel guilty that I had to stop, which I'm way better at that too. I don't feel guilty about it.
Just the way I'm wired, I'd been more upset if you didn't.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we had that conversation.
And I found out later that you wanted to.
That would, I think, just that moment, even though we did so much in that first scene, I think that would have lowered the rating of the moment for you. Like, it wouldn't be a good memory if you carried any amount of guilt or annoyance or anger or whatever because I didn't use my safe word. Okay. From what do you think that I see as the biggest imbalance in our relationship that could lead to long-term resentment? That's a complicated question.
It is. Wow.
I mean, I've already got an answer, so if you need a minute to think, that's fine.
I would have to say probably where we run into hiccups and road bumps, so to speak, speed bumps, is not necessarily in work, but in divvying up the household stuff. I think that's where that is, that little linchpin maybe, or Yeah,
I mean, if I feel like So I constantly do this push-pull of there are things I want to do because it's part of who I am as a service sub. I want to take care of you. I want to do certain things. I want to know I have done them. It's also a control issue. If that seems foreign to you, be lucky that clearly isn't part of who you are. So like there are things I want to do because it'll be done the way I want it to be done. It'll be right. It helps you. It's me doing it, and so all that stuff. Okay. However, one, there's just a lot of shit that I do by default, whether I want to or not. You do. Because I'm either the right one for the job or like it's just in certain things, like I'm the kid's biological mother. It is way easier for me to handle all doctor's appointments, all of this, all of that, because ain't nobody gonna look cross-eyed at me. Like it's just whatever.
True.
But what happens is all of those things build up. And then, I get a bit of like a martyr complex of I'm doing everything. And I'm not good at speaking up.
No.
And going, hey. But sometimes, I think we've talked about this before in past episodes, I don't always need you to do the thing. I need to be acknowledged how much I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if I feel seen, I'm usually okay. When I've gotten much better at when I need help going, I need you to help me with this.
You have. In the beginning, you would not ask for help. Hell would freeze over before you'd ask for help.
And now there's many reasons for that. But yeah, I've gotten better about that. Okay. This is a weird question trying to ask in reverse. Okay, so I've got to say what I think you see is the biggest imbalance in our relationship that could lead to long-term resentment. And weirdly, and I think it's because we're power exchange, I don't think it's imbalance because we've negotiated an imbalance. You are the decider, you are the one in charge.
Right.
I think the imbalance, and it's actually something I think we've overcome, but if we slipped back into old ways and old patterns of thinking, I think that this would happen. So you tell me if you think I'm wrong or not. And that is parenting. And actually, I had to go have some conversations with myself because I had a little bit of hurt feelings yesterday or day before on parenting because of that. Because you have your own bad tapes and stuff with previous relationships and the way you were treated as the step parent and the way you how things were handled when the kids did not behave or whatever. And so you were always primed and ready for that to occur again. And early in our living together relationship, one of our biggest points of conflict was you worrying that I was going to let my kids run wild, as if I could tolerate that shit. Like behaviorally, like just do what the fuck you want. I don't care. Rules don't matter. Like, and or that I was going to negate anything and everything you said. Like we struggled with disagreeing as parents, which were honest disagreements because you had the struggle of seeing it as an honest disagreement. Let's find our way to a middle and something we could work with together. You were constantly struggling with, I recognize this from 20 years ago. And when that happened, this is how I was treated. And so I feel like if anything's going to feel like an imbalance, it's going to be a conflict in parenting. That if we don't navigate correctly, you're going to feel resentment over. Now, knowing that, I try to walk a very fine line with making sure my kids' needs are met and that I feel like they're being, because I'm the default parent. This is like the one area of our life there's no power exchange, right? We are equals, and to a certain extent, I actually lead that, right? Because if you're going to go to all the doctor's appointments, all the kids' things, you're going to do the school thing, you're going to, like, you just know more. And so you got to be the leader in that and go, okay, here's how this is working. But you struggle against that because of bad tapes and because you don't like feeling out of control. You really don't like feeling out of control.
I don't know where you get that from.
Oh, my God.
I don't know where you get
so
that
there
from.
are times I give in and go, is this thing that he feels really serious about and strongly about, is it going against my ethos as a parent? Do I feel like this is wrong for the kids? No. Do I like it? No, because I like to be in charge too of this. I have control issues of my own, but sometimes I just let you have the win because it's for the greater good. Because if I'm constantly going, I disagree with you, I disagree with you, I disagree with you. Well, one, you don't feel like you have any agency as a parent, and you do. I mean, yeah, I'm default on a lot of things, but you raise these kids too. You have expectations. They have to, you got to work with that too. But yeah, I feel like that's the thing I'm constantly like trying to balance so that you don't feel an imbalance, so it doesn't lead to resentment. Yeah. Gee, shocking that I knew that. Okay. What? I'm going to use grammatically incorrect because the correct grammar feels weird. What is one short-term and what is one long-term goal that I am striving for?
I think to a good extent, I think we are both on the same page with this, with the answer I'm about to give you.
I would say our short and long-term goals are very, very much in line.
Okay. So, short term, I think it would be making what we do between loving BDSM, between the kinkery, between, all the other little things we
every side hustle we have.
We dabble our fingers in to making those more viable. Mm-hmm. The long term of that would be to become more financially stable and reduce our debt.
Whew, reducing that debt.
Yeah.
I don't ever think about that too hard because then I would never sleep again.
I know.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that I
yes,
could
and
almost
I think,
confidently say we share.
Yes, I think like short term, the how is slightly different because we have different interests and we're working on different things. Like you're focused on the kinkery, which of course I am, but you're thinking of your vanilla shop, and I'm over here going, I'm focused on loving BDSM and the kinkery. Oh, and all these other things because of course I am. And then I would agree. Our short term and long term goals are absolutely one and the same. We are in sync with that.
Yeah.
The how we're trying to get there, the little things we're working on, the details part there's the variation, but not by much because we're still.
Right.
We walk in the same fucking path together either way.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
This is an easy one for you, I think, and I think it's going to be a hard one for me because it's a loaded question.
Okay.
Which family member am I feeling most connected to right now?
You?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say right now at this point would be the youngest.
Yeah, I wondered if I thought you would say my mom because she's visiting, and you wouldn't be completely wrong. But
that was the first thought that came to my mind
because it's the most obvious.
It's very obvious, that you two, well deserved. You're spending a lot of time together.
Yeah, we
right
see each other
now.
a couple times a year at this point. So yeah.
So yeah, that did kind of pop into my mind, but no, there have been a lot of things, a lot of changes, going on.
And he's going through it
with the youngest, sure. and he's going through it, and he's, trying to mire through it, and you're there. I mean, we both are, but you are taking the forefront on being there for him, which you should. So that has, definitely.
Yeah,
been a connection that you've.
I think I'm in tune with him in a way that I've always been kind of in tune with him. I mean, there was the benefit, or just I guess that's the right word. I stayed at home with him. I mean, other than his like preschool and then going to school from the time he was like 3.5, almost 4, 3.5 till because his most formative memories are of me working from home, and so I was with him a lot before he went to school all day long. So I've been very attuned to him. From that, even younger than that, but definitely when I had more time to actually focus and be around and like witness stuff. But now that these past few years where he's just had a lot of physical stuff going on that we're still figuring out, and the mental stuff and the diagnoses and like all of that. Yeah. Like and sometimes I feel like I have to, not justify the connection, because you would never, like, of course, the connection, you'd like, of course. But I know things about him that I only know because I am so deeply entrenched in all the things that he needs and the things we navigate together and my own research and blah, 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 that sometimes I feel like it's not negated, but sort of like, are you sure about that? You know, aren't you just spoiling your baby because he's the baby, right? Mm-hmm. Aren't you just spoiling, or are you enabling, or are you being soft on him? And it's like, somehow my brain is sectioned off in such a way that 24/7 I'm thinking about the youngest and his needs and his struggles. And I'm thinking about our business and growing it. And I'm thinking about our power exchange and how our relationship can, like, continue on and flourish and not get stale, and we're feeling disconnected. How do we get back to that, blah, blah, blah. And also then there's this little part of my brain that is constantly worried about the kid that doesn't live here anymore with his damn motorcycle and being in another city. And, like, so it's like when there's a...
Wow. Yeah.
So maybe I roll my eyes and I sigh when I'm annoyed, okay? You know, it could be much worse. So it's weird because there's that part of me, that control part of me, that if there's a question about something, which I try to be better about just going, people can ask questions. It's how they learn. It's how they understand. Yeah. And especially when it comes from you, because if you're seeing something and you're going to have a different perspective, and I struggle with being open to those questions because I feel like I'm so connected. Mm-hmm. But also I get very much up in arms about when I feel like there's like a good faith, hey, I have a perspective or I'm trying to understand, but sort of I think you could do that better. Like that connection, because of the need for that connection is so fucking personal and so important, the health and well-being of a child. I'm like, are you really fucking questioning me right now? Like, what? Yeah. And to go back to a previous question, because early days of us living together, our arguments and our strife and our tension were all parent related. Mm-hmm. I'm extra sensitive when I feel like, because here's the thing, I'll explain. Before the youngest was diagnosed with ADHD and autism, from everybody in my life, like, this is not a dig at JB. He was just trying to help, but a lot of people were like, are you sure you're not enabling the youngest? Like, yeah, he's anxious, but people have to get over that. And I always kept going, I'm just working with the kid in front of me, and I'm watching this child's face, and I'm listening to his words, and I'm watching his body language, and I just don't feel right, this, that, or the other. The moment there were diagnoses, everybody got on board. Everybody. And you never questioned me in a way that made me go, uh-oh, can we parent together? But there were times that if there was tension, that was part of it. But everybody in my life, family too, like extended family, that had thoughts and opinions on the 14-year-old and what I should be doing as a mother, the moment there were diagnoses, everybody shut the fuck up. They went, oh, okay. And I'm like, my whole thing had been, whether he gets a diagnosis or not, you parent the kid in front of you. And I'm not perfect. There are things I could have done differently, I'm sure, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Well, now we're dealing with physical stuff that may be connected to mental stuff, but we don't know. We've got appointments for specialists and just stuff. And those conversations come up again in different ways of, well, are you sure it's this? Well, I don't know shit. I'm not sure of nothing. But I'm dealing with the kid in front of me and what the kid in front of me is going through. And that connection, you know, I worry that I spoil him and I baby him because he's the baby. I know that tendency, you know. I also feel bad because as connected as I am to the oldest, which the answer in reverse, I would say the family member you're most connected to right now is the oldest. Because y'all have bonded over the motorcycle.
True.
And y'all talk more now than y'all ever did when the child lived here.
Yeah.
That child had to move out, start adulting, and then go, oh, maybe Mr. John knew some shit. And then be like, Mr. John, will you tell me some shit? I have questions.
Right.
Like, so that would be my thing is I think you're most connected to that kid.
Yeah, and that's true. And I'm happy to see that.
I am too.
You know, happening that way. You know, there, you know, you go back a year ago, he'd be like, what do you know, old man? You know?
Right. All three of y'all, the two kids and you, the relationship is about roasting one another, which just stresses me out. I'm like, no, we should be speaking nicely to one another. When we're mean to one another, doesn't that mean we hate one another? It does not. They're roasting one another with love.
Right.
But that's the thing. You're developing connection. We used to struggle and worry you wouldn't have a connection with the oldest. And I had a strong connection with the oldest because that child does not know how to have an inside thought. If he thinks it and he trusts you,
it comes out.
He's telling it to you. And I love that. I'm not going to stop that. But that we had those struggles too with, am I being overindulgent? But then I lost my train of thought. So I'm so connected to the youngest because of all the issues. And I've been there in ways I couldn't be there for the oldest, that I often feel guilty because I think the youngest is getting the best version of me as a parent because I didn't know to do those things with the oldest. Also, his personality being what they are. The joke is the oldest is a me do it mommy kid. Like from the time he could say those words, he was pushing away and trying to be independent. The youngest is not like that at all. No. Not like that at all. So then we get back to what makes me stressed and annoyed. It's mom guilt of, am I doing it right? Am I enabling? Am I spoiling? Am I not seeing something? Am I being too hard? Am I being too soft? So then when there's a question about, are you sure you're doing this right? You've just hit every sensitive spot I've got. That's a parent.
Just tapped every nerve. Yeah.
Yep. And so then, I'm rolling my eyes and sighing again. Okay. Those were like crazy tangents. I don't apologize. It's what y'all signed up for. Okay. This is weird because I'm such an unsentimental person. We don't talk about memories. So it's okay if you're like, fuck, I don't know. What's one of my most cherished memories from our relationship?
Ooh. Wow. What would that be?
I can think of a couple if you're like, I think, here's what I would tell you, because for me in memories, you know how I am. What were things that we did together or experienced together where I was my most ridiculously happy self?
I would have, this is going to sound weird, but this is what comes to mind. Maybe it's not the most cherished memory, but I think it's one of the most prevalent.
Okay.
Maybe. The night of our wedding, how we ended up at Waffle House.
If you had said anything with our wedding, I would have gone, yeah, you're right. I was my cheesiest, goofballiest self. Nothing could go wrong. Look, did everybody arrive? Was there somebody to officiate the ceremony? Did we get fucking married? Then it went perfectly. I don't care what else happened. So yeah, everything good associated with that day was, you could pick any memory from the wedding. And you'd be right. Okay. Because I don't grin like a cheese ball often.
No, you don't.
I really don't. Like, it's not like I'm reserved. Y'all hear me. I'm wild and out there, but it's like a sharp kind of snark sometimes until I get super silly and goofy. But even then, like, there's a reserve somewhere.
Yeah.
Y'all, from the moment I got to the hair and makeup place, to the moment we got to the boat, to the moment I dragged my children down the aisle, they were supposed to be walking me down it, to the moment I'm like 3 sheets to the wind and I'm dancing, like, I could not stop smiling. And when I smile, my eyes disappear and all my teeth come out. And I just, I could not stop. So this is a hard one because now my job is to go, what's his most cherished memory?
Right.
Okay. I don't think, and I'm going back to this, and here's why. I'll justify this memory.
Okay.
It was the first visit when you walked in the door. Now, after that, maybe not. And here's why I say that. And I've learned this now over 10 years. When something genuinely shocks you in a pleasant way, you have this little gasp. That, man, I live to create that gasp from you, okay? Because it's a blissed out, like, I'm surprised, but also hot fucking damn. And the way he got to see me for the first time physically, I was wearing a button-down purple shirt and nothing else. and I was on my knees, and I can't remember what that position is that I was in, but it's the one where knees are spread, palms are open, head down, eyes down. No, head up, eyes down, which was so fucking hard because I can like hear him pulling up in the bike. I could hear him like getting ready. I could hear we had texted and talked, and he was like, "Are you sure I could just walk up?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, you need to walk up fucking in here."
Because I was even like, how is this safe? you were insistent that I stayed at your house, and I'm like, no, you need to find me a hotel.
I was like, nope, you're staying at my house. And now that is not a good, safe way to be.
No.
I also trust my gut. Like, I'm so nervous with people that if that's what my gut's telling me, I'm, thankfully have been correct. So you had that little gasp. So I know there have been a couple other times through our relationship where I've done something and you've had that little gasp, but that's the one that I remember most clearly. Okay. Right. So that would be what I would say. Now, the question is there one you were thinking of that I did not?
That is a very good, very, very good.
Good, I won. No. Gold star to me. Validation.
Oh, I think the only other one that would come close to that is the time you and I went to London together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can think of another one. The time we got together down in west, the Tampa Bay area. I couldn't think of words. And we destroyed that hotel room.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
We should be ashamed of ourselves. Yeah. Like, we were not good guests in a social sense. But,
no.
Man, that was a good weekend. Mm-hmm. That was a real good weekend.
It was. It was.
Why are all of our most cherished memories of fuckery? Okay, last question.
All right.
And I'll say the question, but then we're gonna modify. Okay. The question is, who's my celebrity crush that I'd possibly leave you for if I had the chance? And see, I wouldn't leave you for anybody. We're in an open relationship. Who would I add to the selection if who's my celebrity crush?
Oh God, I can see his face. I cannot remember his name.
What was he in? Or what does he do?
The Witcher.
Henry Cavill. He has to wear the wig. If he's not wearing the wig, he has to have a scruffy. He can't have shaved. If he's freshly shaved, he has to wait a week for that scruff to come in. Either with the wig, also whether he's shaved or not. Mm-hmm. Without the wig, no shaving. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Here's the thing, knowing how you are, I feel like, I don't know that that's one you would say, but I feel like we'd both have a good time. It'd be like, Henry, are you down? Like, we're both old, middle-aged, chubby people, but we're also kinky, and we're like really open to shit, and you're beautiful, and we just want to jump on you like a trampoline. Was that okay?
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we would share.
Be like a tag team. All right, you're going in.
So here's where I'm a shitty person. I would say Henry Cavill simply because I know, and maybe even Chris Evans as the captain. Mm. Right. But I can't think of any specific celebrity. Because, see, I'm very open with you about that. I'm sending you, like, memes, and I'm sending you reels of, like, look at him, isn't he beautiful? We could both jump on him with his consent, right?
Right.
But you don't do that in reverse. You're not, like, showing me pictures or going, oh, I love this one.
There's a very good reason for that.
Okay.
Growing up, where I grew up, I was around a lot of people of notoriety and such. And because of that, I lost a lot of that.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Oh, you're a big star. Oh, you're an athlete. Oh, you're and they're just people. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for you.
Has been lost to me.
I feel like I can't think of any names, but I feel like old Hollywood stars, women, especially women, men too, because you're like whatever, gender doesn't matter. But I think of like the old like starlets from Hollywood, the Hedy Lamars and the I feel like that would be your vibe. But I don't pay attention enough. I don't know who you like really liked back in the day.
I think. I had at one point, and still do to a certain extent, because I absolutely love her voice, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, because of all like the celebrities kind of people that you talk about in sort of an admiring way, that's not just about their music, but like voice and looks, whatever. That's a name that definitely comes up. So now I'm like, I should have fucking known that. And I should have stopped thinking about movie and TV stars and gone through my mental database of singers.
Yeah.
Because God, you're such a music guy. Except I have such a bad memory for that stuff. I can't think of any names. But Stevie Nicks, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. So clearly there's still some stuff I need to learn about you. Also, I just need to get pop culture references to stick in my head.
See?
Those were all the questions. This was not for like to be educational for anybody, but if you found the questions interesting and maybe you were thinking of if you have a partner, you're thinking of what their answers might be, this could be a good like little exercise either for yourself, and then you can kind of go, wait, I don't think I know the answer. Maybe I need to go learn that. Or you could do it together. That's fun. Yeah, you know, I feel like we know each other as well as I thought we would know one another. I think we're on the same page more often than we're not, but where we differ most of the time complements the other. And I also feel like this is just sort of shown what we've learned about each other over time,
and
that we've gotten better at.
We've gotten better at it, and I think, what a lot of that comes down to is we put in the work.
Yeah.
We put in the work for our relationship.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really, as I've said many times, I'm not the most sentimental person on the planet. My brain doesn't always work that way. Like, I'll feel it, but I don't know how to like express it. And so like I'm part of the my feelings are, you know, my kids are the best thing I've ever done. But this relationship is the best relationship I've ever had in my life. Like, it's not perfect. God. No. I mean, I really did have to go away and have a little, like, talk with myself of, like, get your shit together. You're offended at nothing. You have your little cry, have your little feelings, but you know what I mean? And, like, there are things where we will still certainly get on each other's nerves. And, you know, it's not always amazing, but every moment of every day, it's worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because when it's amazing, it's fucking amazing.
Right.
But even when it's kind of bad, it's still like, yeah, but I still want to be here. I just want it to not be bad.
Yeah.
And what I appreciate about both of us is I think we both have the mindset of, it's bad right now. And yeah, we might be having the thoughts of, ooh, they need to do better. But I think we both have that thought of, but what do I need to do better?
Right.
How do I help us get back to where, you know, it's not all on me to fix it. It's not all on you to fix it. Even when we're upset with the other and we think the other's done something wrong, we're still willing to kind of meet in the middle and go, I just need you to admit you were kind of wrong here. I need you to hear me. I need you to like acknowledge my feelings. But how do we work together to get back to where we want to be?
Right. Absolutely.
And I would wish that kind of relationship, romantic, sexual, kink, platonic, whatever, for anybody. One good relationship like that is, I mean, you can do anything when you know you got somebody in your court like that. Like, they just, you know, I feel invincible. Like, I get scared about shit, and God knows I worry every moment of we just went over what all is going on in this brain all the time. Yeah. But I have somebody to share it with. You will either commiserate with me because we're like, yeah, we are both worried about that, or you'll kind of call me on my bullshit in a way that I'm willing to be called on my bullshit.
Yeah.
What I love about you is the same as in reverse. Like, there's this whole, but he's the dom, you shouldn't, you know, tell him about himself. Fuck that shit. I call him on his bullshit all the time, respectfully.
Yeah.
In my most submissive voice. I'm sure y'all know how that
And goes. I think that's important because, you know, as your dominant, I'm not all knowing, all powerful man behind the curtain, you know? Yeah.
I don't have an Oz fetish. So.
Right. So, you know, it's all part of, you know, keeping me and my power air quote, in check.
And the thing is what I have found that bothers me the most when we get out of sync or we're in an argument or we're in conflict is I want you to be the dom that I know you're capable of. And where I get upset is when I think that that's not happening, and all I want to do is kind of get you back there and help you get back there. And sometimes it's what do I need to do, and sometimes it's what do I got to tell him that he needs to be thinking about, that he's not thought about. And sometimes what we need to do is go in our separate corners and do our own thing for a while until we want to be nice to each other and then come back together. So, and when you do, when we've done the episodes on teamwork, like we are a team, and we've done the episode on this path of this goal, we're on the same path. We want the same outcome.
Right.
So our whole thing is how do we figure that out together? Because I know I did not hear this explicitly, although I hear it a lot now in relationship advice, that it's never you versus me. It's us versus the problem. And we internalized that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we didn't have conflict until we moved in together, and even then not right away. It was when we were navigating the hard things that you don't usually have to navigate in a long distance relationship that are just naturally kept separate until you're together. So we had enough good, and we had enough desire to keep the good, that when the tension finally occurred, we were like, we don't like this feeling. Yeah. How do we make this stop?
Go away. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that was our episode.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
We're going to do a bonus section. That's all I got.
Okay. So are we good?
I don't know about that.
Keep it kinky, y'all.
And we'll see you next week. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can I talk to the crickets, please?
You really want to talk to the crickets, don't you?
Always.
I know. I know.
I was sad that we only got to talk to like one half of the crickets last week.
I know.
I was happy to be able to podcast listeners. I was very happy to be able to talk to you. Thank you for being there so that we could talk to you. But I missed the YouTube crickets.
Well, go ahead.
You are such a fucking sadist. I swear to God. Holy shit. What have we got? So I have barely talked to the 18-year-old, but we are all gonna see it tomorrow night. Tomorrow, day after recording. Podcast listeners will be this Thursday. We're time traveling.
I'm going to be the chauffeur tomorrow night.
You have to be, or me and my mother, who, look, I think we are strong, independent women who can handle our shit. Except we also have a lot of anxiety, worry about things we shouldn't worry about, and have become, as we've each individually aged, very nervous drivers. And so, who both for different reasons struggle to drive at night because it doesn't look quite right, and then add that to our anxiety. And really, should we be allowed to get in a vehicle and speed down the highway to go watch a concert that is going to be at night? It's going to be dark. And also, you like your mother-in-law. I do. You actually like my mom.
I do.
She's a good mother-in-law. She is not getting in the middle of shit. She's not interfering. She will, if I talk to her and vent, she's going to listen. And she's the type, I'm not giving you advice unless you ask for it, but be careful what you ask for, right? Because I will tell you what I think. But I knew that about her before I got married the first time, and denial is powerful. So I just never asked her shit. And now we're at a point, because this is a good relationship, and she has struggles in her own, that she's like, what do you mean he just does the dishes unprompted? I'm like, because he's not a fucking man, baby, and he knows that he lives in this house too, and like, if I wasn't here, if he didn't do it, they would, like, what are we talking about? Yeah. What do you mean? Because I didn't marry a man, baby, okay? Anyway, we also, that rule goes the other way. I do not offer unsolicited opinions about her situations, but if she asks, I will tell her. Yeah, my mom's not like the other mom-in-laws. She's a good mom-in-law. She's a cool mother-in-law. I butchered that, but y'all know what I mean. So the oldest has a concert Thursday night. We didn't go to the October concert, even though we planned on it. Because he said, please don't come to this one. It's not going to be any good. We got music that was too hard, and we got no time to prepare for it. And I just don't think it's going to be very good. Just please don't come.
His words were, this concert's going to be ass, so don't come.
That's true. And then when it worked out in a way because JB was sick that week, and we didn't need to be going anywhere anyway. And I didn't want to drive at night by myself with the kid, the youngest. So I was like, okay, we'll stay at home. This works out, you know. And then come to find, he was like, actually, it was pretty good. But the other part, the part why JB keeps giving me side eye every time I mention this concert, is the original agreement was we went to the first one in what was that, September, I guess? Yeah. And we were looking at the schedule, and there was an October concert and a November concert. I don't know about next semester. I just know these. And so at the time when we were planning the October one, and I knew my mom would want to go to the November one because she's in town. And I genuinely don't think she's heard the oldest perform in a concert in like years. Like,
it's been a while.
I don't even think she got to hear him in high school at all. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to ask her. Yeah. Anyway, the negotiated agreement was JB would go to the October one, but he could sit out the November one.
Right.
I should never have made that agreement in the first place. I should have thought about two crazy anxious white ladies driving down a dark highway with a 14-year-old who is equally as anxious. Like, I did not think that through. I should never have negotiated that. But my point has been, you didn't get to go to the October concert. And so therefore you still owe me a concert, but also use your judgment. Did you want me to come home in one piece and with my mother and one of us not have been left on the side of the road? Or wrapped around something because we overthought, like a light in the distance, or still circling Gainesville, just nobody listening to the GPS going, I don't know where to go. I mean, it's a comedy of errors when we get together and we do things that make us nervous. We can do them, but it's going to be chaotic. But if you're there leading the way, chaos is kept to a minimum. And you didn't, there was no October one to go to. You were sick. So, therefore, the original negotiation is null and void. The original terms couldn't be kept. So, I'm owed a concert.
I was planning on staying home. She can go out, spend some quality time with her mom. And I would have the TV in the living room to myself. And I could sit and binge watch.
And what did I offer? Because see here, when he wants to watch a show that I don't watch, it's one of those things I can't even stay in the living room. I can't hear it. I'm gonna get distracted by the bright shiny because maybe a dialogue will be good or something will be happening, and the next thing you know, I see like a zombie, and then I'm like freaked out. So I leave the room. And the bedroom's not like super comfortable for me to be in, and the office, if I'm in the office, I'm gonna work. Yeah. So as a thank you for, giving me the one concert I was owed anyway, because that's what I was promised, is that you'd go to one of the concerts, but whatever. I offered to make myself scarce on Sunday and negotiate an amount of time where, okay, fine, I will not sit on the comfortable couch where I like to read my books and watch my videos. I'll go into the uncomfortable bedroom and do it there so that you get your time. You're not being completely left out in the cold here. I am trying to take care of you in the way that I know how. Just saying.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, I just feel immediately better and calmer knowing you're going to be the one driving and you're going to be there. And you'll keep us all rounded up. Because here's the thing. My mother and I are our own individual people, and we have our own quirks and our own whatever. But there are some ways we're very similar, and when those similarities come together, there's a clash. So, examples. These are mild examples, but examples. She let me drive her vehicle. She's got a brand new RAV Toyota RAV4. I fucking love driving that thing. Try not to think about it too hard because then be like, oh, it's way better than our cars. But our cars are fully paid for, so whatever. She let me drive to take the kid to school. We had band yesterday. And then let me drive while we did errands, and then we drove and we did an early dinner because then we were going to go do shopping like on a completely different side of town, and none of us in this crowd were going to do a late dinner. We're not wired that way. So I do all that driving, and the longer I drove, the more anxious she got. Now look, you hop 2 curbs and they get nervous. I did, and I don't do that very often anymore. I was unsure of the vehicle size, and I like undercut myself. Anyway, but she also started doing this thing that she does because she's an anxious passenger. It's, there would be tail light, and I know you're gonna laugh at the irony of this. It's fine. There'd be tail lights like half a mile up, and she'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." I'm like, I got. How many years did I? It's like I got 25 years of solid driving experience with 0 accidents. Yes, I see them. I'm slowing down. I haven't gotten us killed yet, have I? And she's like, I know, but I get anxious. And then somebody would be coming out the side road, and yeah, they sometimes speed up to a stop sign, and you do have to be careful. But she'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and make me nervous. So then I was like, "What is happening?" I understand the irony.
What comes around goes around.
2 things.
One,
you and I have figured out what works. He used to complain that when I'd get in the car, my nose would be in my phone, and we weren't having conversations, and we weren't like connecting. And I finally said, if I look up from my phone, I'm going to be the nervous passenger, and you're going to like want to put me out on the side of the road. Which would you like? And he was like, I would like your time and attention. And so he got it. And then about a week later, he went, it's fine if you look at your phone while I'm driving.
Please look at that damn phone.
I read books. I watch reels. I do not look up because then I can't tap my imaginary brake or grab the oh shit handle or go, to let him know that somebody in front of us is stopping. My mother does not have that. My mother will just tell you that clearly everybody's trying to kill you. So we get to the restaurant, we eat dinner, and as we're leaving, because at this point I knew that she knew where she was going, I was like, would you like to drive? She went, yes, I would. I was like, fine. It's fine. So I understand that generational cycles, it's all repeating. I get it. But I have found a way that we can both survive it.
Yes.
I was ready to put my mama out on the side of the road, okay? I love her so much. There's a reason we have like a 72-hour like max that we can do before we have to go to separate corners. And this visit has worked because like I saw her for a few hours on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I saw her for several hours Monday, but like by mid-afternoon she had gone her direction. Tuesday, that was the day before this day of recording, I saw her for the whole afternoon into the evening, but that was really only like 5 or 6 hours. Mm-hmm. Today we won't see her at all because we had so much work to do. She was like, I'll just stay on your aunt and uncle's side of town. And tomorrow will be the longest day that we spend together because she'll come like mid-morning and it might be like 11 o'clock at night before she's back at my aunt and uncle's house. So it'll be a long day, but that like works. Like we like stagger it out. Yeah. I'm sure there are other things going on, but I have just rambled.
You have.
Because I find myself amusing. I don't know if anybody else does, but, I'm enamored with me. Look, when I can get my brain to function with my mouth and the words are wording and I can get them to flow, like I'm like, look at me. I got a superpower. I know how to string some words together. I want to keep doing it until the words cut off, like the brain stops working or something. Like run out of words. Then I'm like, oh, God. Okay, maybe I should stop now. Also, I think I've hit the point of it's a good kind of tired. We talked about this at the beginning.
Right.
We've been doing our Black Friday sale. Podcast listeners, by the time you hear this, the sale is over. But we're like finishing that up, and the orders are coming in, and it's been a very successful sale. And we busted our ass to prep for it, and it went really well. And the woodshed went really well when we did that. It's all been good, but it is caught up with me today. Yeah. I am like deliriously tired.
Yeah, it's been just one constant thing after another, and
Yeah, and no complaints about it. It's just like I'm loopy. I don't I don't know. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody. I don't know if I've annoyed the fuck out of people. I don't know, and I'm too tired to give a shit. So there we are. Case in point, not a lick of makeup on this face because we had choices, and I could feel the, what's the word I want, the paralysis that comes with, I know there's a thing that I should do, but I can't make myself do it. And what'll happen is I'll just freeze and I won't do anything. And so I was like, we got to make the decision. We're just not going to worry about it so that we can keep moving forward.
I didn't shave either. So,
There's a reason these legs are covered in long pants. Shaving the legs? What? Look, once I realized you did not give a fuck if they were super smooth. I shave for me, and if I think I'm gonna get laid and I want to be that night, I might shave for that. But yeah, I mean, you will absolutely trek through the wilderness to get to, the center of my Tootsie Pop. So I was gonna say something about cream and that didn't, so I went Tootsie Pop. Have you got anything? I know I sucked up all the oxygen as usual. As you're letting Lola out.
Yeah. So, last night I went to the big community munch.
Was it still 40, 50, 60 people like usual?
It was about 30 some folks there, yeah.
That's actually kind of quiet compared to the times I used to go.
I think it's because, holidays.
Yeah. And it probably will be in December too then.
But it was good. It was nice to see, folks that I hadn't seen in a while. I met some new folk and, a lot of new faces there. So that was cool and enjoyed that very much. And it was kind of funny because, our life pretty much since September, we have been really focused on work. And in conversation with somebody, they were like, so what do you do? What have you been doing? And I was like,
I've been making paddles.
I work.
I work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, baby.
And had not much room for anything else of late. I have really been wanting to, especially with the weather turning the way it is. We have a lot of state parks around here and stuff, and I'm like, I wanted to do it last year, but I couldn't because of my back. Now my back is better, and I'm like, I want to go out and walk some of these trails at the parks and stuff. And when do I stop working?
You have to, you have to make a conscious decision. that work will be there when you get back.
I know.
Yeah, neither of us is good at that, but I'm good at making you do it, and I think you're good at making me do it. We're just not good at making ourselves
do it. Yeah. So, that's kind of where I've been at. My free time when I do get some downtime, I sit in front of the TV and watch a few shows.
We did finish Loki.
We did.
Season 2 of Loki. That was really good. I liked how that ended.
Yep.
I mean, I won't say anything because I don't want spoilers for anybody, but I did I think my baby girl side came out because I had questions, or I was very worried for him. Like, it's a good ending. It's I started thinking about, but what about after? What about after the cameras are off and the world continues? And I have questions, and I won't pose those questions here. I do not want spoilers for anybody, but it is really good.
It was. It was.
Yeah, and I think Loki got a literal decade-plus long character arc that was satisfying to me in the end. The payoff was very satisfying.
Yeah.
So, we did watch that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, we probably should go.
Yeah, I got stuff to do before I go do other stuff, and then come home and do other stuff.
I have wood butter to make.
Yes, I need wood butter. That's what we put on our paddles. It's not sexy or dirty or kinky. It's a wood conditioner.
Yep.
Well, if you buy certain paddles from the Kinkery, you get a sample of them so that you can have it to take care of your paddle, and then we sell full size ones if you run out of your sample. So, but I need that for the samples.
Yep.
So, and I got stuff to do too. So. Thank y'all for being here, especially to the bitter end, y'all. Especially to the bitter end.
Yep.
We're happy to be back on YouTube and be out of the corner, and for YouTube to have ungrounded us. Thank you, YouTube, I guess, even though you're the fuckers who were the problem, but whatever. Whatever. And yeah, I don't know what we'll talk about next week, but hopefully we'll be less tired when we do it.
Yes. Yep.
And we'll see y'all next week, I guess. Okay. Bye.
Bye.